Hi, welcome to my Dreamee crochet channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the single crochet ribbing stitch, which creates a nice ribbing effect on both sides of your project. This is a very simple stitch to learn, so it's an ideal project for all beginners. I am also going to show you how to change colors and how to count rows when using this stitch, so make sure to watch till the end. We will start with a foundation chain, so create a slip knot on your hook and chain your desired length. I'm just going to chain 20 for the purpose of this video tutorial. Okay, so that's the chain completed. In row 1, we will single crochet into the back bump of each chain. So if you turn your chain over, these are the back bumps of each chain, and you will crochet inside these bumps. And we will start with single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain, and this is the second chain. So turn the chain, and this is the first bump, and this is the second bump. So that's where you will do your first stitch. So insert your hook into the second bump, yarn over, pull through the back bump, and you will have 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. So let's do the next stitch. Insert your hook into the back bump, yarn over and pull through the bump, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. And again, insert your hook into the back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. So you can now single crochet into the back bump of each chain till you get to the end. Okay, so this is what your project will look like at the end of row 1. Now to continue with row 2, you need to chain 1 and turn your work over. Okay, so in row 2 we will start creating the ribbing effect, and normally when working on this stitch you would crochet into back loops only across the whole row. So this is the back loop, and this is the whole loop, so this is the back loop. But I like to crochet into the whole loop of the first and the last stitch in each row, because it helps to keep the edges of your work a bit tighter. Otherwise the edges tend to stretch a bit more than the middle of your work when you work into the back loops only in every single stitch. Okay, so we are now ready to start row 2 by inserting your hook into the whole loop of the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain, and this is the second chain from the hook. So insert your hook into the whole loop of the second chain, yarn over, pull through the stitch, you will have 2 loops left on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. and you will then continue by doing a single crochet in the back loop only of the next stitch. Insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through the stitch. You will have 2 loops left on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And again, insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through. You will have 2 loops left, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And again, insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. I will now let you crochet across and I will meet you towards the end of the row before you complete the last stitch. Okay, so here I am at the end of the row 2 and I just need to complete the last stitch. So remember, the last stitch goes into the whole loop. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And this is what your project will look like at the end of row 2. To continue with row 3, chain 1 and turn your work over. So from now on you are going to repeat row 2. So you will single crochet into the whole loop of the second chain from the hook. So it's this one. This is your first chain and this is your second chain. So you will crochet into this one. And then you will single crochet into the back loop of each stitch across the row. And finally, you will single crochet into the whole loop of the last stitch. Okay, so let's single crochet into the whole loop of the second chain from the hook. And then single crochet into the back loops across the row. And you will continue like this across the row. So this is the last stitch, so you will crochet into the whole loop of this stitch. And this is what your project will look like at the end of row 3. So from now on, you will continue crocheting the rows exactly the same way. So chain 1 and turn over. So you will now single crochet into the whole loop of the second chain from the hook, then into the back loop of each stitch across, and then into the whole loop of the last stitch. So I will just show you one more row. Okay, so that's done, and you can already see the nice ribbing effect starting to appear. I will now crochet a few more rows just to show you what your work will look like later on. Okay, so this is what the ribbing stitch looks like. It creates a ribbing effect on both sides of your work, which adds a really nice texture to your project. And it also has a really nice bouncy stretch to it, and overall has a really nice soft feel. If you would like to check out some of the projects I made using this stitch, then I will include some links to the free patterns in the description below this video. Okay, so let's do the color change now. If you would like to change colors when working on the ribbing stitch, you can do that while working on the last stitch in a row. So when you are ready to complete the last stitch, you will insert your hook into the back loop of the stitch. This time it's not the whole loop, but it's the back loop only. So insert your hook into the back loop, yarn over and pull through the stitch. And you will have 2 loops left on the hook, and this is the point when you will change the color. So grab the other yarn, loop it around the hook and pull it through the 2 loops on the hook. This can be a bit fiddly, so go slowly and just pull on the yarn ends a bit to make them tighter. You can then chain 1, again take it slowly, and then turn your work over. And you can pull on the ends again to make the stitches a bit tighter. From now on, you will continue to crochet into the back loop only of all stitches, including the first and the last stitch. And this is just in this row where you are changing the colors. So single crochet into the back loop of the second chain from the hook. Yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And again you will probably need to pull on the ends a bit. And continue to crochet into the back loops only across the row. You may be wondering why we are working into back loops of the first and the last stitch in this row, but that's purely because the color changes look neater that way. And remember, in this row only, you will work into the back loop of the last stitch. And this is what the color change looks like. You can now chain 1 and turn your work over. And after that you can continue to crochet as normal, which means you will do a single crochet into the whole loop of the second chain from the hook. And then you will single crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. And you will continue to single crochet into the back loops across the row until you get to the last stitch. And the last stitch again will be in the whole loop from now on. So remember, you will single crochet into the back loop of the first and the last stitch only in the row where you are changing the colors. Okay, so before I go, I'm going to show you how to count the rows when working on a project using this ribbing stitch. Unfortunately, it's pretty simple with this particular stitch. So you can either count the worked rows or the ribbing rows. The worked rows are simply every row you crochet. So for example, this is one row where you can see the raised ribbing, and the next row is sunken in between the two ribs. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The other way is to count the more visible rows, which is the ribbing rows. So you can just count those instead. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And that's it really. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can receive an update every time I publish a new video. Thank you for watching.